I'm Anthony Foxx, the U.S. Secretary of Transportation, and it was great to visit with members of your regional business community today. We had a very interesting conversation about the fact that we have so much population growth, so much need to move freight around this country over the next several decades and even today, and so many needs we have for transportation. And as a region and as a country, we had a lot of dialogue about the need to take bold steps. And I talked today with this incredible group of business leaders about the need to have certainty, predictability in our surface transportation system, and the Grow Florida Act, or as we call it in Washington, the Grow America Act, which the President and I have put forward as a way of creating $302 billion 4-year sustainable course for our surface transportation system. Numerous topics came up, but I'm most pleased to be here in Tampa, a great American city, in a great American region, and a great American state, and to engage with folks at the local level about the transportation needs they have and what needs to happen in Washington to help solve those. So with that, I'm going to stop and maybe take a few questions.
Did you learn what the big issues are here and how you might address them?
Well, there was a fair amount of conversation about regionalism. And this is a very important issue in transportation because, as I pointed out in the meeting, our economy increasingly is organizing around regions. People might live in one place and work in another place. A business might source goods, materials for manufacturing from all over a particular region. And our transportation system needs to be responsive to that. And any chance I have to talk to a group of local leaders about ensuring that they are tightly connected to their region, tightly focused on priorities that affect the region, and committed to working as a region, I always try to encourage that, and certainly you have some very important conversations here in this area on this subject, and I'm glad to see the business community aligned in favor of promoting a regional approach to transportation.
This is a car-centric area. Can we just talk about the fact that we're really reliant on one transportation system?
One of the things we talked about was the fact that over the next 35 years, we're going to have 100 million more people in this country. And you're going to see a lot of that number here in Florida, right here in the Tampa area. And we still need to continue investing in our road systems and repairing our bridges and roads, creating new capacity where we can. But we're going to find that in the next 35 years, some places are going to need some different options to move people. And that's where transit comes into play. That's where commuter rail comes into play. That's where bicycles and pedestrian facilities come into play. And I know that there are some efforts to create a bold transit vision here in the area, and you have to come together as a community to get that done. But we see in places all over the country where communities have forged that vision and found a way to get it done, that their citizens have choices. They have the ability to choose to get in the car or choose to get on a train or a bus or some other vehicle, and that creates more mobility options. It takes some folks off of cars, cleans up the environment a little bit, and maybe gets people where they're going at a predictable increment of time.
Talk about some specific issues that were brought up to you in this meeting.
Well, I know that you've got a referendum in one of your adjacent counties. You've got a lot of activity going on here with I-4. You've got an airport that, from all accounts, seems to be bustling. So I think, you know, you've got plenty to say grace over here, but you got to, you know, I continue to say that continue building that vision and continue working towards the goal of providing maximum mobility for all the folks who use your system.
And also, I'm Bob Rohrlack with the Greater Tampa Chamber of Commerce. We did have Joe Wagner from the Expressway Authority talk about some innovative ideas they have, as well as Joe Lapano here at the airport, talk about the aggressive plans our airport has and how we're seeing those plans as being the centerpiece for the Bay-wide transportation needs. So that's all something that we're looking at, as well as we're on 275 coming here. That funding is coming from the federal government. We're very thankful and want that to continue as well. So we looked at specific projects and had brief discussions on all that.
Answered all your questions? Okay, thank you.